Very good morning, my dear aspirants. Welcome to Sri Karthikeya IAS Academy. So today we are going to discuss 10th editorial discussion. What is the article? Given in Hindu editorial, the benefits of carbon tax. The benefits of carbon tax. So this is our source, Hindu editorial, and this topic is related to, you may get questions regarding this benefit of carbon tax in which mains paper? Environmental science. So in this we will discuss who are the top carbon dioxide emitter countries, what are the recent deadly disasters because of global warming in 2020, which countries faced highest losses due to climate change between 1998 to 2017. This report released by UNISDR, and what these reports show us. Next, we will discuss what is the rank of India in Global Climate Risk Index 2020. What is India's commitment? What is the way to price carbon? Then we will discuss which countries imposed carbon tax and what about success rate and how India is going to achieve these commitments. So these issues we will discuss in this session. So please observe the first question regarding this article. Who are the top carbon dioxide emitter countries? So please observe here, this International Monetary Fund along with European Union released a plan for imposing carbon tax. So this carbon tax will be paid by the firms, the industries. So please observe this image very clearly. So who gave this plan to us? IMF and the European Union. So why this carbon tax is imposed? Because this carbon tax, which is one of the potent options to nudge the adoption of green tech, and if used wisely, we can generate significant results in short span. A collaborated introduction of carbon tax with an effective market would go a long way in making the transition financial viable and widen the participation of stakeholders. Because of this global warming, because of this global warming, there is a lot of changes in this climate. So this climate change, which is a global problem, and this global problem needs a solution. So this global problem needs a solution. So what are those problems? Please observe in this image. This image, this is released by the NASA Earth Observatory, NASA department. The heat waves in India. So you can observe the air temperature in Delhi, in Ludhiana, in Ahmedabad, in Bhopal, in Nagpur, in Patna, in Hyderabad. So these all are more than 45. So what this resulted, if you observe in recent times, there were three deadly disasters in 2020. So what are those deadly disasters? Heat wave. Please observe maximum temperatures on 26th May 2020 increased to 46, 47.6, 45.4, 46.8 in Delhi because of this climate change. If you observe in southwest China, the famous river Yangtze, so this Yangtze flooded the rainstorms and floods in southwest China. You can observe the disaster of these floods. Because of these floods, the disaster happened here in southwest China because of this Yangtze river. Because of this climate change, the level of river increased. And in the same way, please observe in California, the Mendocino National Forest fire in California. The forest was completely on fire. So these three are national disasters. California, Mendocino National Forest fire, heat wave in Delhi, River Yangtze flood. So this is a global problem because of these carbon emissions, because of this greenhouse gases. The climate change is now a global problem, and this global problem needs a solution. And the solution, one of the solution is to impose carbon tax. This plan was given by IMF and European Union. Please observe the second point here. With the International Monetary Fund endorsing the European Union's plan to impose carbon levies on imports, whereas India can be among the first movers in the developing world in taxing and switching from carbon intensive fuels like coal, which is the main source of climate change. So this climate change is now a global problem, and this global problem needs a solution, and this is one of our solution. So if you observe the most recent intergovernmental panel on climate change, IPCC, gave a report suggested that we might have just over a decade left to limit global warming. The IPCC also says that total global emissions will need to fall by 45% from 2010 levels by 2030 and reach net zero by 2050. So there should be a fall of 45% of drop in global emissions by 2030 when we compare it to 2010 levels, and we should achieve the net zero, the zero emission by 2050. Otherwise, we are going to face severe problems. If you observe in India also, cyclones which came yearly once in eastern coast and western coast of India, But now we are facing minimum of 3 cyclones. Why? Because of this greenhouse emissions. So this carbon emissions should be reduced by 45% of 2010 levels by 2030, and by 2050 we should reach up to a net zero with zero emissions. If these targets are not met, then tropical regions of the world, please observe, the tropical regions of the world, the tropical regions of the world, like these countries which are densely populated and happen to be mainly concentrated in the global south, are likely to be most negatively affected. So already we have seen in 2019 what happened to Tamil Nadu water crisis. So this is a right time to impose this Robin Hood tax. So some countries call it as a Robin Hood tax, because this carbon tax is not like this GST. This is separate, this is universal. Carbon tax is nothing but Robin Hood tax. Is it clear? So please observe these points. Who are the top carbon dioxide emitter countries? So now the first position goes to China, second position is USA, and the third, we are in the third place. The top carbon dioxide emitter countries are first China, second US, and third India. China announced that it would balance out its carbon emissions with measures to offset them before 2060. But whereas IPCC, what it is telling, we should achieve by net zero, we should reach to net zero by 2050. But this person is saying that he will reach up to 2060 only. Is it clear to everyone? So this is a Robin Hood tax, because you may get question, who subsidizes whom and by how much? So those countries which emit more than global per capita average pay for their own transition plus funds, which is a part of the energy transitions. So if you observe here, so which countries faced highest losses due to this climate change between 1998 to 2017? So here the most affected countries are the USA, China, Japan, and India. So clearly observe from 1998 to 2017. 1998 to 2017. The loss. Whereas this is which country released carbon dioxide, more carbon dioxide. So that is China, USA, next India. Whereas this is, please observe this one. So this is the highest losses due to the climate change. Please don't confuse between these two. So this is USA, China, Japan, and India. So the total disaster hit countries reported that from 1998 to 2017. From 1998 to 2017, this report was released by UNISDR. Please observe here. UNISDR, UN Office for Disaster Risk Reduction, released this report that all disaster hit countries from 1998 to 2017, the loss is equal to $2.9 trillion. Whereas the top one is the highest loss faced country is USA, next China, next Japan, next India. So these climate related and geophysical disasters such as earthquakes, tsunamis, which have killed 1.3 million people over these 20 years and left further 4.4 billion injured, homeless. And this all report is submitted by UN Office for Disaster Risk Reduction. So this also shows, please observe this graph. This also shows that people in low and middle income countries are 7 times. Please remember this number. In exam, we may get this number. How many times? 7 times. The low and middle income countries are 7 times more likely to die from natural disasters than those people in developed countries. So we are at a risk. If you observe the Right Now report, which is released by German Watch. So what is our GCRI rank? So here, please don't get confused between these 3 reports. Once again, I will alert you guys. This is carbon dioxide emitter countries. China first place, second place goes to US, third place goes to India. Whereas this report is released by UNISDR from 1998 to 2017. The highest losses faced countries are USA, China, Japan, and India. Whereas this report, this is released by German Watch. Which firm? German Watch. And this organization released what this German Watch will do. It will analyze to what extent the countries have been affected by the impacts of weather related loss events. So this German Watch organization, which formed in 1991 with its headquarters at Bonn, this country released CRI index. So please, in abbreviations, you may get CRI or GCRI, CRI or GCRI, Global Climate Risk Index. It is the abbreviation of GCRI. If you compare with 2017 and 2018. So in 2017, the Global Climate Risk Index of Japan was in 36th place, but right now the disaster increased in this Japan and it is now in first place. Whereas Philippines, which was in 20th rank, now it became a second. Germany, which was at 40th rank, now it came to third place. Madagascar, which is at the 7th place, now it came to 4th place. Whereas this India, this is our very important. So India is the top 5th global climate risk country. So in 2017, we are at 14th position, but right now we are in the 5th position. So this is a very dangerous situation for us. And please also refer this is a human development index ranking, and right now we are, what is our rank? 130. So now we will observe What is the imposing of carbon traffic? What is the imposing of a carbon tariff? Please observe. First observe here. What is this carbon? We are using the word carbon tax, carbon tax. So what actually it is? So big companies, big economy countries, big economies, countries like India should also follow this carbon tax. Still now we didn't impose this carbon tax. So what is this carbon tax? One way is to put a carbon tax on economic activities on the use of fossil fuels like coal. So it is nothing but imposing a carbon tariff on the country, on the companies. Is it clear to everyone? So if carbon is increased, the level of carbon is increased from those companies, then those companies should pay the tax to the government of India. So this is a successful project. Please observe the pilot projects on carbon trading in China have shown success. There is a valuable experience in European Union also and some American states. For example, regional greenhouse gas initiative which was introduced in US. In the same way, the Canada government as well as the Sweden government imposed a carbon tax $20 per ton for carbon dioxide emissions in 2019. So if the carbon dioxide emissions are increased, then these companies should pay the carbon tax. And for per ton of carbon dioxide, for per ton of this carbon dioxide emissions, those companies should pay $20, which eventually now raised to $50 per ton. And this reduced greenhouse gas pollution between 80 and 90 million tons. And the target is 2022 for Canada and Sweden. So whereas how you are pricing it, one way is to put a carbon tax on economic activities on the use of fossil fuels like coal. If carbon emission is more than the extinct level, then these companies should pay carbon tax. So in Canada, now it is $50 per ton. So another way to collect carbon tax is through emission trading, that is setting a maximum amount of allowable effluents from industries and permitting those with low emissions to sell their extra space. So these are the two ways to collect, to price the carbon. And whereas coming to India, the UN experts said that India should collect $35 per ton for carbon emissions. And this will result for increase in 2% of our GDP by 2030. So big economies like India should follow this global monospony. So India, focusing on trade is vital because reducing the domestic carbon content of production alone would not avert the harm if imports remain carbon intensive. Therefore, leading emitters should use their monospony, diplomacy, and financial capabilities to forge a climate coalition with the partners. So, India, which is among the nations that are hardest hit by climate impacts very badly. So there is a growing public support for climate action too, and we need solutions. And it is up to the India, it is up to the Indian government whether to collect $35 per ton for emissions of carbon from the companies, from the firms, from the industries. So if we impose these tax, definitely these companies to reduce their expenditure, they will move to clean energy, green energy. Definitely they will transform to green energy. They will use the modernized equipments. So how we are going to achieve this? Please observe here how we are going to achieve this commitments. Please observe here what is India's commitment, what India is committed for this European Union's plan. So as European Union said, by 2050 everyone should reach net carbon, no net carbon, nothing but zero carbon by 2050. And whereas we are going to we are going to 40% of electricity capacity which is being from non-fossil fuels by 2030. Yani we are going to use the clean energy. The prime movers for production of this clean energy should be renewable energy sources like hydro, like solar. So 40% of electricity will be provided through these non-fossil fuels by 2030, and we will reach, as European Union and IMF said, that zero net carbon by 2050. So we are also going to reduce our emissions by one third of 2005 emission levels. So these are India's commitment. So now our question, how we will reach this three commitments? What is the way forward? What is the need of our? And these are the solutions for us. So how India is going to achieve these commitments? You are well aware of FAME 1, FAME 2, FAME Phase 1, FAME phase 2. Already right now, Delhi government also, we discussed the topic too. This Delhi government also launched this DEEP DEVP program, like Delhi Electric Vehicle Policy. Delhi Electric Vehicle Policy. Please watch August 11th. August 11th current affairs notes and the video. You will get clear idea what is this DEVP we discussed in our previous class. Please go to and watch August 11th current affairs video and PDF. So in that topic we discussed these issues, how to reduce the pollution levels, how to boost our economy, how to create jobs, how to reduce the population levels. So as well as India and Delhi launched these projects. Indian projects is nothing but FAME, whereas Delhi project is nothing but DEVP, DWEEP. So how we can reduce, we can achieve these commitments by reduction in pollution levels, by using electric vehicles. So government of India now providing 1,50,000 incentives for purchasing of these electrical vehicles, and which is a tax-free benefit. Government is providing 1,50,000 incentive. Government is also converting the smart buses, conversion of all buses into these smart buses. Government also providing incentives for scrapping, and this scrapping incentive was first introduced by our Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. Please do remember, Government of India is also going to provide the scrapping incentive, but this scrapping incentive idea, initiative, the brainchild of this scrapping incentive is Arvind Kejriwal, and this scrapping incentive also went very good in Delhi. So to exchange their petrol and diesel run vehicles into electric vehicles. So government also providing scrapping investments, scrapping incentives. Government providing scrapping incentives, also providing incentives on purchasing of electrical vehicles, also providing the tax-free benefit to us. And now they also provided road tax removal, zero road tax. If you buy electric vehicles, government is not going to collect any tax. Which tax? Road tax. Government is not going to collect road tax from the purchasers of e-vehicles. Their registration fee is also reduced to zero. So this complete removal of road tax and registration fee for all customers who are going to buy these battery e-vehicles, which reduces in the pollution, which in turn help to reach our commitment. Emissions will be reduced. So this is Indian project, National Electric Mobility Mission Plan. Under this, there are FAME project. So this FAME, faster adoption and manufacturing of electric vehicles, which comes under NEMMP. NEMMP is nothing but, please observe that abbreviation, National Electric Mobility Mission Plan. So this is released by Narendra Modi, Government of India, whereas this this Arvind Kejriwal of Delhi released DEVP. DEVP. So Delhi Electric Vehicle Policy. Whereas Narendra Modi released this FAME, FAME, the faster adoption and manufacturing of electric vehicles. So we also discussed this completely in our previous sessions only. Please go and watch August 11th current affairs video. You will come across these points I explained very clearly. So we have two phases, phase 1, phase 2. Now we are in phase 2. Please go to August 11th video. So how we are going to achieve these commitments? The first one will be introduction of electric vehicles. And the second one, please observe carefully. What are these second one? Developments of innovative business models around clean energy, like providing solar powered automobiles. Please observe this panel. This is not electric vehicle. This is completely solar powered vehicle. This is an Hyundai vehicle. Now Hyundai is going to launch this solar powered vehicle. In the same way, we are also going to use this solar drones. So this solar technology will not emit carbon emissions which affect our environment. So what is our first point? How we will achieve our commitments of 40% of electricity capacity, lowering the ratio, no net carbon increase by 2050. How we will achieve by this projects? So e-vehicles, introduction of e-vehicles. For introduction of e-vehicles, we should provide exemptions to the customers, the purchasers. And the second one, introduction of solar powered automobiles, also introduction of this solar drones. Next, observe here, we are going to use this utility scale battery production, which is a very clean energy. So what this utility scale battery production does, it stores the greater penetration of renewable energy into the grid, and by storing any excess generated energy and smoothing out the energy output. So this process also called as capacity farming. And we are also going to use these super grids technology, which is a wide area. Please observe this image. The wide area transmission networks, which makes it possible to trade high volumes of electricity across the great distances from one major city to another city, from one metropolitan city to other city. So which is a grid, which is a wide area transmissions networks, which makes it possible to trade high high volumes of electricity across great distances. We also call this super grid technologies as mega grid, also called as mega grid. And we are also going to use this technology, zero energy buildings. So please observe here, guys. In exam, you may get what is the abbreviation of ZE, zero energy. They may ask you ZNE, ZNE, ZNE is also the same. Zero net energy. They may also ask the abbreviation of NZEB. NZEB, nothing but add here net zero energy building. So please observe here, this zero energy buildings are also called as, also known as with some other names like ZE, zero energy, ZNE, zero net energy, and also NZEB, net zero energy buildings. So with a zero net energy consumptions, so these are the buildings. Please observe this image clearly. So please observe these buildings. So these buildings with zero net energy consumptions, it means the total amount of energy used by the building on annual basis, which will be equal to the amount of renewable energy, which is equal to renewable energy created on that site. So with this, the emissions can be reduced. 21% of greenhouse gas emissions comes from these buildings. So how? By the home appliances, by the wiring, by the generators. So 40% of the world energy is consumed by buildings. So if we use this architecture of zero energy buildings, definitely we are going to achieve our target. So in exam, they may ask you how you are going to achieve these commitments. Please give them answers. So first one, by introduction of electric e-vehicles, by introduction of solar powered automobiles, solar drones, utility scale battery productions, super grids, and net zero energy buildings. Please do remember, guys, this is a very, very important topic. Don't get confused. So carbon tax is nothing but a Robin Hood tax. So this plan was given by which country, which organization? IMF and European Union. So this is the report. The top carbon dioxide emitter countries are China, from 1998 to 2017, the highest losses faced by USA, released by UNISDR, whereas this report GCRI, first place ఏముందన్నా Japan, released by German watch. So please clearly observe these three differences. After that, what is our commitment? How we will collect the price? How we will collect? How we will impose? How we will collect the carbon tax from the companies and firms? And is this a project is successful? Yes, very, very successful. In which countries? European Union, America, Canada, Sweden. This initiative was very, very successful. So how we are going to achieve our commitment? How these countries, Canada, Sweden, European Union, America, how they achieved, how they imposed, how they collected this carbon tax, and what measures they have took. So those commitments we should achieve. So how we will achieve? By this electrical vehicle discount program, Tata की smart buses, scrapping initiatives, removal of road tax and registration fees, by introducing solar powered automobiles, solar drones, utility scale battery production, super grids, and zero energy buildings, NZEB. So I think it is very, very clear, and there is a lot of impact of this carbon taxes. So please go and try to understand what are the impacts of introduction of these carbon tax in India. That also we should observe. Yes, there are so many pros. Okay, we have discussed that issue till now. But my question, please think over it. What will be the impact in India, especially of imposing carbon taxes? So what? Please think. What are the impacts of introduction carbon taxes in India? So there will be an impact on, I will give you some hint. The hint is the impact on revenue, impact on investment, and definitely on employment. There will be impact on innovations. So what are those innovations? These are the innovations, the new innovations, like the innovations of new technologies, solar powered automobiles, solar drones. These all are very, very new innovative ideas in this world. Utility scale battery production, super grids, zero energy buildings. So there is a lot of impact on revenue. There is a lot of impact on innovation technologies. There will be a lot of impact of this carbon tax on investment and employment. There will be a lot of impact on healthcare infrastructure. So please go and try to submit essay to us. Please go through this Sri Kartikeya website and mail it to this website. This Sri Kartikeya IAS Academy also providing the online test series. Please go through it and try to submit what will be the impact of carbon taxes if it is imposed in India. So thank you very much, guys. Myself, KCR, signing off.